Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm Kathleen Kaiser,
And I'm Austin Warren.
and we're here at the Silva National Guard Armory, where Last Rites Wrestling presents the Ring of Rage. The doors open at 6 and the match starts at 7:30. I've never been to anything like this before, but I'm really excited to see what's in store for me. Here's Austin with some information on what's going to be happening. I'm here with Travert Robert. Okay.
No pressure.
Ooh. I'm here with Travert
Travis, say it once.
Travis Roberts.
say
This
it
is
again.
terrible.
Say it
Okay, I'm normally not this
What's his
terrible.
name?
Travis Roberts. Okay. I'm here with Travis Roberts. Thank you for coming, Travis.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And I have a few questions for you. So, how do you feel about tonight's match?
Excited in a way, but a little bit nervous because it is for the first heavyweight championship for LRW. Definitely a little nervous, but definitely going to go out there and give it my all.
That sounds good. So, what really got you into wrestling?
Oh, I can remember back a time 24 years ago sitting on my grandpa's lap watching WCW and WWF, and it was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. And then it just kind of fell into place. Everything worked out for the better.
Nice. And so, how old were you? You said it was 24 years ago. So, how old?
I was 20 years old when I started, so I've been wrestling for about 4.5 years now.
Wow, that's awesome. So, let's see. What advice would you give someone who was looking to get into wrestling?
Don't quit. It's going to be a tough road full of bumps and bruises and broken bones, and just don't quit. I mean, at the end of the road just lies opportunity.
All right. Well, thank you for speaking with me, Travis, and
problem.
good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That was great, man. Thank you.
I'm here with Ryan Kine.
I looked at you. Sorry.
Okay. I'm here with Ryan Kahn, aka Flying Ryan, and thank you for joining us tonight, Ryan. How you feeling about the match tonight?
Pretty good. I've been preparing, getting my mind ready for it, so feel good going into it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I hear that you do martial arts as well as wrestling, and what made you want to do both of them?
Well, I always grew up watching wrestling, and I kind of always wanted to get into martial arts, always wanted to get into wrestling. Ever since I was little, watching Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, that sort of thing. Wasn't able to get into it until I was older, until I got out of high school and made my connections that way. So I started doing both at the same time, and just kept going with it, learned them both. Yeah.
All right. So, about how old were you, and what got you started with wrestling?
Well, I knew who Hulk Hogan was before I even knew what wrestling was. Back then everybody knew to say your prayers, eat your vitamins, drink your milk, that sort of thing. I was ripping old shirts off. I knew who Hulk Hogan was, and just took it from there. And then as the early 90s turned into the mid 90s and then the late 90s, it got more and more interesting. I got older, and I really started to focus on it and understand it, and just took it from there. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, who would you say was one of your major influences?
Hulk Hogan for sure. Yeah, I mean,
I figured.
that's me and probably about 90% of everybody else, my age.
That's true. Well, thank you for joining us, Ryan, and good luck tonight with your match.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That went well. Okay, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. I'm here with Michael Kane, and this is actually his debut tonight. So, how do you feel about the match tonight?
I feel pretty good. This is my first time for LRW and my first time in this area, and I'm actually pretty excited for it.
That's
Looking forward to it.
Good. So, what really got you into wrestling, and about how old were you?
Honestly, I have memories of doing leg drops and elbow drops on Ultimate Warrior buddies and stuff like that, but what I really remember was, I'd say back in 95 or so, I happened to catch an episode of WCW Worldwide and saw the man called Sting, and it was just all over from there. I just got hooked and couldn't get enough of it.
That's awesome. So, what advice would you give to anyone who wants to get into wrestling?
The best advice I could probably give to somebody that wants to get into the business, and I don't want to sound like I'm selling out to a certain big name, but don't give up. Get in this. If you want to get in this business, give it everything you got, but do not give up. You will get eaten alive.
Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck with your debut tonight.
Thank you.
Kathleen. All right. Nice to meet you. All right, I am here with Bobby Holliday, whose son actually runs Last Rites Wrestling. So how do you feel about that, and how did you help him get into that?
I really didn't help Devin at all. Devin more helped me. It's been Devin's dream ever since he was like 5 years old. Actually, when Devin first got into wrestling, I didn't even let him know that I had anything to do with wrestling in the past, because I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth from my past experiences in wrestling. Devin had made up his own mind that this was what he was going to do, so when I saw that he was absolutely certain about it, that's when I decided to step in and give him what help I could, and I couldn't be prouder of him. I mean, Devin's my hero.
That's awesome. That's really sweet. So, Kid Holiday. So how is it? He's your teammate. So how do you feel wrestling with your son?
Well, he's kind of my teammate tonight. Me and Kid are booked against each other in a scrap metal match.
Oh, okay.
So we're the exact opposites of teammates tonight. When I'm working with Devin as far as a partnership, there's no way to explain it. It's like a dream come true. I mean, it's like being 5 years old again in the backyard wrestling with my first cousins again. You know, there's no way to explain it.
That's awesome. So what got you into wrestling, and about how old were you?
I was about 19 years old, and I started training with a guy out of Asheville, and we were basically running the small arenas, same thing as this, running the independent circuit, and we got a call up from Tommy Rich. He was wanting some lightweights to be sent in. We went down and worked 3 matches with Tommy Rich, who booked me against a guy named Sean, and I worked with Sean 4 matches, and during those 4 matches, there was a pretty popular promoter, Jim Cornette, who was starting a company at that time called Smoky Mountain. He picked me and Sean up, and we worked together for about 9 months. And at the time I was in a relationship, I had a young son, actually Kid's older brother. And I was taking pressure from the ex that, it was either wrestling or home, so I made the grown-up decision to go home. And 9 months later, the guy that I was working signed on with WWE, and you may know him as X-Pac. So he became a millionaire, and I got divorced. So, that's kind of why wrestling left a bad taste in my mouth. But I thank God today that I'm back in it, because everything happens for a reason, And the reason I was in it even then was for where I'm at now, because Kid's going to be a superstar. Some people just have that intangible something. I've been lucky enough to work with the best of the best in this business. I've worked with guys who just absolutely blow your mind. And a lot of guys ask me, what does it take to make it in this business? And that's exactly what it is. It's that intangible something. It's the same thing it takes in a rock star. It's the same thing it takes in an actor. It's not that one thing. It's everything. It's when people look at you and say, damn, it's just wow. And Kid's got that. And it's not just because he's my son. I've seen other people who have it too. He just happens to be one of them who does.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for talking with us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much. I don't need luck. I've been beating on a Kid for years.
I am here with Travis Roberts, who will be going up against Tim the Machine Thomas, and a surprise opponent for the Triple Threat event. How do you feel about this?
How do I feel? Let me tell you how I feel. Mad, for one, because the other 2 guys, they're nowhere near my caliber. I'm up here, they're down here. They're mediocre compared to me. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to walk in, beat both guys, and I'm going to pin both guys. I only got to pin one person. I'm going to pin both of them and walk out as the first LRW heavyweight champion. That's how I feel.
What do you want to say to your opponent?
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm here with Will Balderas, and how are you feeling about the match tonight?
Excuse me. My client doesn't talk to anybody but through me. My name is Sean Ellering, and I'm here to announce to LRW that we were asked to come here, and we're going to make a very, memorable impact tonight.
What about his opponent? How do you think that's going to go down?
Well, normally for this guy, he faces #1 world-class athletes. I've not seen any here in this locker room, so it's probably going to be, I hope you reserved your room at the hospital.
All right, well, thank you, and good luck tonight. I'm here with Kid Holiday, and you are actually going to fight your dad tonight. How are you feeling about this match?
This match goes beyond what wrestling is. This match goes beyond what's happened in the past, the future. This is the present. Today, we're going to go out there, not as father and son, but as opponent. Because when you get in that ring, you have no friends. We're going to take everything that's been building up for the past 17 years and leave it all in that ring tonight.
If you had something to say to your dad, what would you say?
I love you, but whenever we get in that ring, it's no holds barred. I have no friends when I get in that ring.
Well, thank you, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.